Hey everybody, I'm Mrs. Linnihan for those of you who don't know me, and Mr. Perez has asked me to share with you some thoughts on my most influential or most favorite book that I love to read. And so I'm happy to do that here from quarantine land. And today I am going to share with you, probably not any surprise to anybody who knows me, but my favorite is actually the whole Harry Potter series. I'm going to read a little bit from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. For those of you who have never read Harry Potter, I tend to describe it as that Christmas present that gets shoved underneath the couch or behind the coffee table, and you don't find it until like February or maybe even in the summertime. And it's just this unexpected surprise, this gift that's waiting for you that you didn't even know that you had. That's Harry Potter for you. So whether you pick it up today or whether you decide 10 years from now to read it, maybe, or maybe 20 years from now, you're reading it to your own children, this is a gift waiting for you. And I can't really separate the different books in my mind, although I would have to say probably Prisoner of Azkaban, which is the fourth one, is my all-time favorite. But they all go together nicely in a set. And if you haven't read them, I really encourage you to open it up and give it a try and stick with it. And I know the movies are wonderful, but there's a lot to explore when you read. And I guess some of you probably also know that I am a huge Harry Potter nerd. So I really look forward to spring break every year because that means I get to start listening to Harry Potter again. And so I listen to the entire series. I start during spring break. Typically takes me until sometime in July to get through all 7 of the books, just listening to them, typically while I'm walking my dogs. But this year, maybe I'll go a little bit faster because I'm already into the 4th book. And I think I'm going a little faster than usual because I'm spending a little bit more time walking my dogs these days. So I'm going to share with you. I'm actually not going to read the very beginning of the book because, quite honestly, I think maybe that's why some people don't stick with it when they first start. They want to know what all the fuss is about. And the first chapter is important, but I don't know if it's the part that really pulls you in. So I'm going to read just a few pages of chapter 2. It's called The Vanishing Glass. Nearly 10 years had passed since the Dursleys had woken up to find their nephew on the front step, but Privet Drive had hardly changed at all. The sun rose on the same tidy front gardens and lit up the brass number 4 on the Dursleys' front door. It crept into their living room, which was almost exactly the same as it had been on the night when Mr. Dursley had seen that fateful news report about the owls. Only the photographs on the mantelpiece really showed how much time had passed. 10 years ago, there had been lots of pictures of what looked like a large pink beach ball wearing different colored bonnets. But Dudley Dursley was no longer a baby, and now the photographs showed a large blond boy riding his first bicycle, on a carousel at the fair, playing a computer game with his father, being hugged and kissed by his mother. The room held no sign at all that another boy lived in the house, too. Yet Harry Potter was still there, asleep at the moment, but not for long. His Aunt Petunia was awake, and it was her shrill voice that made the first noise of the day. "Up! Get up, now!" Harry woke with a start. His aunt rapped on the door again. "Up!" she screeched. Harry heard her walking toward the kitchen, and then the sound of the frying pan being put on the stove. He rolled onto his back and tried to remember the dream he had been having. It had been a good one. There had been a flying motorcycle in it. He had a funny feeling he'd had the same dream before. His aunt was back outside the door. "Are you up yet?" she demanded. "Nearly," said Harry. "Well, get a move on. I want you to look after the bacon. And don't you dare let it burn. I want everything perfect on Duddy's birthday." Harry groaned. "What did you say?" His aunt stepped through the door. Nothing. Dudley's birthday. How could he have forgotten? Harry got slowly out of bed and started looking for socks. He found a pair under his bed, and after pulling a spider off one of them, put them on. Harry was used to spiders because the cupboard under the stairs was full of them, and that was where he slept. When he was dressed, and he went down the hall into the kitchen. The table was almost hidden beneath all Dudley's birthday presents. It looked as though Dudley had gotten the new computer he wanted, not to mention the second television and the racing bike. Exactly why Dudley wanted a racing bike was a mystery to Harry, as Dudley was very fat and hated exercise.